Welcome back to Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Today's episode is powered by Perfect Sports Nutrition. Today's video is a preview of the workouts and lessons that you will get at bazookatraining.com. If you like it, head over to the website bazookatraining.com, sign up, and get all these workouts. There's over 300 to learn from. All right, let's get into today's video. Boom! Welcome back to bazookatraining.com here in the sparring drill section. Today, we're focusing on kick fighting tactics. And yes, kick fighting tactics can mean a whole lot of things. So I'm gonna try to break it down for you into three of the more popular ones that I teach here at Bazooka Kickboxing. Now, the reason I'm teaching you these tactics is because a lot of times you learn the basics, but in reality, some of the basics you have to kind of think with a little bit more IQ to make sure you land your kicks successfully. So usually when we talk about kick fighting tactics, it happens kicks versus punches. So if Matt throws a jab on me, I chop the leg. If the cross comes, I kick the liver. The hook comes, I can still block and chop. So that's the concept, punches versus kicks, kick fighting, right? Now, the problem with that is when things get live and you get more experience, you run into problems when you don't have your hands to be able to attack with, okay? So the first problem that you'll see is when you're kick fighting, you just wait. Okay? And because we do all these timing drills, people feel like you only want to use your kicks to time the hands. Yes, you want to do that, obviously, but the idea is go first, right? So if Matt's lining up, and instead of waiting for that right cross, maybe he has a great right hand, instead of waiting for him to throw it and kicking, it's boring. So what am I going to do? I'm going to kick it before he even thinks about it. So I start kicking the arm. I might kick the arm, all right? I might move. I might still chop. I might come back to it, mix in my front kick. So being first is going to be one of the tactics. I can shut his offense down by just being first. If he even thinks about throwing and I constantly kick the arms, that's going to stop him from throwing, right? So don't always think you have to get underneath the arms. That's the first point, okay? So I'm either going to, start by kicking the arm. If he goes to punch after, then I get underneath, right? But if he's not, I'm going to keep doing what's called in Muay Thai cracking the shell. So even if they anticipate, even if Matt throws a jab, boom, I'm going to left kick the arm, right? So this way, I already shut down his right hand. He tried to set up his rear hand, but I stopped it with a kick. I interrupted his boxing with my kicks. Now, being first has to have a little bit more strategy as well. You have to think, my legs are longer than my opponent's arms. If all of my kicks are round, right? If I throw round this way and then this kicks round, it gives Matt an easy path to come here and drive his hands, right? I don't want him to come in. So what happens when it's kicks versus punches and I wait, if I'm waiting all the time and Matt keeps pressuring me here, I end up having to move backwards. I'm on my heels. I can't create any good power or offense when I'm being pushed back, okay? So how do I avoid getting pushed back, okay? By being first is mixing front kicks and round kicks, right? So I always use the concept of boxing. If my hands are only going here, it's an easy entry for Matt to come in, to clinch, whatever he wants. But if I go 1, 2, then mix in a straight punch every so often between my round, it's going to keep him from coming in. So you have to bring in something straight with the round attacks to keep your opponent away. So kick fighting tactic number 1, be first, right? So be first, but mix in straights and rounds, okay? So an example here, what I'll do, and if you're new to this concept, you can play front round. So you alternate the two. So I might go round kick, come back to a front kick, okay? That's the same, like I can go round kick, front kick, right? I could even mix them up, round kick, front kick, okay, front kick, round kick, and they're just gonna make it very difficult for them to step in. That's how I kind of start, but then as you get more advanced, you can sit. I might even just feint with it. If he's not coming in, I might double them up. Boom, right? It doesn't really matter. I can play and be tricky with the way I want as you get more advanced. So being first, front kicks mixed with the round kicks, keep your opponent away. Now, the second thing you want to do with the leg fighting is, like, as I mentioned, you don't want to be pushed back. So if you feel yourself moving back and you're trying to keep them away, it might be hard. I want to bring in feinting with my legs, okay? What my leg feints are going to do, right after I establish it, boom, I get a reaction. I might get them to brace themselves down. I might get them to keep their hands up, or I might see them react, and then I could move, right? If I'm here and I might see, oh, I'm not ready, but as soon as I start going, I control the hands. Now, that is my key. So using the leg, walking knees or feints, gonna help me close that distance down really well, okay? So I'm trying to be first, right? Boom. All of a sudden, Matt's trying to come in, build in my feints and control the hands. I'm not boxing, but from this position here now, I can knee successfully, right? Kick fighting includes knees, right? I can throw knees, or if Matt exits, boom, I chop off the exit, right? So now I pushed him back and I punished him for moving backward, which is the third part, is exit attacking, okay? So if Matt's boxing and all of a sudden I'm scared, right? Because ultimately if I'm kicking, he's trying to counter me. So if I right kick and he punches, boom, right? If I switch kick here, boom, and he cracks me, I don't want that. So I might be feinting, using my legs, getting the hand, create my push-off attack. Say he stays there and he doesn't want to go, what I'll do is I'll push him off and then go back to my kick fighting, okay? So I was able to enter safely, control and defend his hands, hand fight him. If you're in MMA, you can grab the wrists, change angles from that position. It's beautiful, right? But you entered safely, and that's the key, okay? So quick recap of today's important lesson. This is very important for my intermediate and advanced followers, okay? Kick versus punches is a little bit more advanced. If you're going to kick fight, okay, be first a lot of times. Win. You got the longer weapon. It's the example of war and fighting, right? If I'm fighting someone with a small knife and I have a sword, right, I need to use my sword at longer range than I have to do with a knife. So think about your legs as the sword and your hands as the knives. Use the longer weapon first. It's safer, it's more controllable, right? So using round kicks and front kicks on first. Be first with it, right? Boom. Even if they do punch, I can get underneath it, but keep them away. If they start pressuring, build in feints. Kind of close the hands down. Throw your knees. Now, once you get in successfully, or they keep pressuring you, you can build in these push-off, exit attacks, and then reset the system. After I push them off, guess what I do? I go back to the first part. I start getting busy with the front kicks and round kicks, right? So the whole system, right, we'll look at, keeping them long, staying here, feinting. All of a sudden, boom, the pressure comes. I close the distance, right? Now from here, I can angle, push them off, kick, and then bang, right back into keeping them away, right? And then I can bring in that whole system again. Push off, kick, right back into front kicks and keeping away, all right? Fighting, kick fighting tactics, you need to know, practice, rewatch this episode because you might have missed these little subtle details because there's a lot of them in this episode, all right? Make sure you share Bazooka training with your friends, not your opponents. That's the key. And we'll see you next time here at Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Welcome to Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA online training. I'm Bazooka Joe Valtellini, the owner here at Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Over the past year, I've designed and created a website to teach Bazooka curriculum at home and across the world. The purpose of this website is for you to, one, hit your fitness and health goals, all while learning world-class martial arts instruction from me. The beautiful thing about this website, it's geared for all levels. So if you're learning martial arts for the first time as a beginner, we help you progress into the bigger stages. And if you're a pro fighter, guess what? We have different fight concepts for you to improve your tool set and your skills in the ring or cage. As the fastest rising kickboxing world champion and a lifelong martial artist with over 30 years of experience, I've been able to combine my passion for martial arts and teaching to create this website. This website's going to give you some of the tricks, secrets, and inside look at some of the training I use to win my world title. Once you subscribe to this site, you're going to be getting weekly training videos and tutorials that you can do from anywhere. The sections are broken up into 3 parts. The first is bag workout. So if you have a bag at home or at your gym, you can use these workouts to supplement your training. The second is at-home workouts. A lot of us don't have the room for a bag or a bag in general, so these workouts are for no equipment needed and you can do them anywhere. And finally, the tutorial section. If you're having any problems with a specific technique or fight concept that's covered in any of the workouts, go to the tutorial section, learn the technique, and then go back to the workout, and this time, do it with proper technique. One of the added benefits once you subscribe is the forums section, where you can get a more personalized experience where you can ask questions and I'll be able to go in there and answer them. It's all about building a team and a community of martial artists helping each other grow. So subscribe now to get access to all the videos plus more so you can be part of the squad here at Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA.